Hi Fitness for Life at Home students. I want to make sure that you are keeping in sync with what we're doing in school while you're at home. So you're going to be doing the same thing that we're doing right here, right now, which is strength training exploration with the planes of movement. Here's why. Every single day you are doing things that involve, I'm just going to scroll down for this. All of our everyday movements involve doing things that involve pushing, involve carrying. You squat every time you sit into a chair. Every time you go up the stairs, you're actually doing part of a lunge. You end up twisting, turning, carrying, what have I missed, and pulling things all day long. Ultimately, we want those things to feel pretty easy for you to do, and that's where your strength comes in. On the other end of the spectrum, some of you are also doing things for various sports and activities that you have specific exercises that you're using for improvement in performance in those activities. So in order to do that, there's always some interruption. You need to make sure that you know your muscles, different exercises for different muscle groups, and to make sure that you're working in different planes of movement. So here's what you're going to be doing at home. So in your assignment, you have got this slide. Now please open this assignment in the web-based version of Canvas. It doesn't play very nicely with the app because there's so many interactive pieces with it. So let's say, for example, I would like to do an exercise for the front of my body. If I click on that, then I've got the major muscle groups in the front of the body, and I'm going to pick which muscle group I want to start with. So let's say I start with pectorals, and there's some diagrams here that give you examples of different movements you can do for that muscle group. Now, here's the thing. You have a worksheet that is also posted in Canvas for you with the planes of movement highlighted in there, and on the back, you've got the muscles as well. So what you're going to do is decide which muscle group you want to work. So here I've chosen pectorals. You're going to choose an exercise. Let's say I decide to do a dumbbell bench press. When you do that, you're going to decide which plane of movement you're working in. So if I'm going up and down, that is in the sagittal plane. You're going to record how much weight you used, which I know could be tricky at home. I will get onto that in a moment. And then finally, you're going to put either a check mark if the weight was good for you. That means by the time you got up to your last repetition, between 8 and 12 reps, that it was becoming challenging. If it was like, it was not good, put an X. That means it was too heavy for you. You couldn't get to 8 repetitions. Or if it was too easy, you got to 12 repetitions and it really wasn't challenging you, then you're going to put an up arrow to remind you that next time you need to increase your weight. So you might be thinking, well, I don't have any weights at home. That's okay. You can use all sorts of things that you have at home as weights. So for example, I have my water bottle here. So any water bottle you can use, fill it up. I can do bicep curls. I can do tricep extensions. I can use it, if I have 2, I can use it to do my bench press. I can use one-arm rows. Things like milk gallon jugs, if you're finished with those, clean them out, fill them up with water, fill them with sand. They are great weights. Make sure you put the top on properly though as well. Anything you have in your house, cans of food, long as they're using one for each hand, make sure they are the same size and weight. So you need to get a little creative with what you're using, but I can almost guarantee you have things at home that you can use as a form of resistance that isn't just a dumbbell. You may find that you don't always have access to a gym anyway. It's still important to be able to do things to help your strength, whether you have access to a gym or you have just what's available to you at home. So you're going to go through each muscle group. You're going to try a different exercise for it and record them on your sheet. And then when we get into next week, we'll be looking to tweak the planes that we are using to add even more different activities in there as well. Remember to use Canvas to send me any messages if you're not sure how to do something. Keep an eye on the deadlines. When you have a deadline, you need to meet that deadline, unless of course you are actually sick and physically unable to do something. When those assignments are closed, they are closed. So your time management is going to be a very, very important part of this. I hope you're well. We do miss seeing you here. I hope you're back soon. Any help you need, please make sure that you get in touch.